What is up, down, and sideways, you beautiful people? The madness of the offseason continues in the LCS. And one of the craziest runs right now has to belong to 100 Thieves. First, they bring back Meteos, the man who they axed in favor of eventually starting Levi, then never started him. But clearly, they believe that 2018 spring was their best year because they're bringing the entire band back together. Mr. Jacob Wolf announcing that 100 Thieves will be buying out Cody Sun from Dignitas to be their starting AD carry, and then they will also be promoting Stunt from the Academy team, which means Aphromoo will not be with 100 Thieves, it sounds like, as Mr. Wolf said that he will be looking for a new team for 2020. So big changeover for 100 Thieves, and much like Meteos, it's crazy to think that Cody Sun would want to come back to this team after he helped them qualify for a world championship. He all of a sudden doesn't get to play in the playoffs. He doesn't play on the world stage at all. And again, it's got to boil down, in my opinion, to something to do with Prawley being the main facilitator or culprit of the issues not panning out for either of these guys on this team. And with Prawley out, they're happy to come with Zeke's and Papa Smithy running the show. But now this roster, someday in the top lane, Meteos in the jungle, sounds like Ryoma in the mid lane with Cody Sun and Stunt. Stunt finally getting the opportunity to start on an LCS squad that actually is somewhat decent. First impressions of this roster are, I'm not fully convinced that this is vying for an LCS title necessarily, but they do look pretty decent on paper. They should be a playoff team, you would assume. The big question mark is, of course, going to be Ryoma in the mid lane. And really what this signing of Cody Sun does for me is really question what the heck Dignitas is doing with their roster. You're paying Hooney $2.3 million to role swap so that you can get DeMonte off of your roster, who was clearly the best performing domestic mid laner. And then you have Cody Sun, who at the end of summer was probably the second best AD carry behind Doublelift. You let him get bought out by another team. I have no idea what Dignitas is trying to do, but really, they're probably losing a lot of fans when you lose Tanner Time and Cody Dunn. This is a huge one for 100 Thieves to get a big AD carry. This does kill the rumors, and there were no rumors, the potential of Sneaky being reunited with Meteos. We said that the best available AD carry that was North American was going to be Sneaky, but we didn't expect them to buy out Cody Sun from Dig, because yes, he would have been a better option, and 100 Thieves believes so also. Someday, Cody Sun, it's very similar to that first place finish 100 Thieves roster way back in their first ever split. Really the best pieces of that roster. Obviously, Afro did win MVP, so that is a big key that will be missing. And now, all of a sudden, Afro's on the free agent market for some of these other teams if they're needing a support. But the problem for him, there's not that many openings. All the top teams that you'd be looking at already have somebody. Cloud9, TSM, CLG, obviously Team Liquid is set outside of the top four. So Afro's going to be hard-pressed to be finding a starting spot on a team that will be fighting for one of these playoff positions. Maybe it changes the direction some teams are going to make now with him being available. I can't imagine they were expecting this to happen, but maybe they were. Either way, 100 Thieves quickly filling out the rest of that roster. Ryoma's going to be a big question mark for me, and it sounds like they're still leaving the potential or opportunity to sign a different mid laner, maybe have him jump back and forth between Academy or split time with whoever they end up getting in the mid lane. But exciting moves for 100 Thieves. I'm so glad that Cody Sun gets to start the year as a starter on the LCS. Another quick bit of news. Peanut from the LCK, he gone. He's going over to the LPL. He's going to go on to LGD Gaming. Obviously, Peanut has never played in China. He's coming off probably his worst split on Gen G. He was invisible in a lot of the games for them. Hopefully, the changed play style that we see in the LPL can kind of help him find that Rocks Tigers form. Well, it remains to be seen how good LGD were actually going to be. Kramer He wants to stay in the LPL. LGD should do absolutely everything that they can to re-sign that guy and use Peanut and Kramer as their 2 import slots. LGD is not going to be fighting for a title in the LPL, but who knows? Maybe they'll squeak their way into a playoff spot with 15 other teams competing against them. That's all the time today for League Unlocked. My name's Eric. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you next time.